Never die. Never die. Never die. Never die.
Fuck you.
All right, it is Friday. I don't know what fucking day it is, but because I forgot to check it on my phone before we started, but it'd be like that. It is 7:31. This podcast is being recorded early because Brian has to work, and we're going to a show tonight for wrestling. And if you don't like wrestling, go fuck yourself. All right, it's easy as fucking that. Also, too, you know what I'm saying? And on Fridays, I like to tell stories. This has been a while since I had a special guest. This is Brian from the Terrible Terror Podcast. I enjoy his podcast. I listen to his podcast. And guess what? My kids enjoy his podcast. And I'm very selective on which ones I let them listen to because sometimes they're not as friendly as they should be.
And I don't know if it's as friendly as it should be for your kids.
And it goes like that. All right. And guess what? You know, Brian's got a story. I brought him on. And so, you know, tell me about your week and then see what we get into.
So, this week in general has been, you know, kind of shitty for the most part, just for one day. I got so much crap at work.
Yeah.
Like if you've listened to the other podcast, it'd be like that.
Yeah.
I explain, and still that shit is still going on at work.
Oh, my
It's
God.
fucking killing people that can't make their own fucking decisions and constantly are moving themselves around. Like, just fucking agree to something and be fucking done with it.
Hey, you know, that pisses me off. You get people that are fucking, think they're smart, think they're above you, and can't get their shit straight when all you got to use is common sense. Pull your head out of your fucking ass and do it. You know? Yeah.
You just realize you don't know shit about shit right now, and fucking things are more expensive than they used to be. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say, because that's what's been fucking pissing me off. But no, Tuesday, I had the fucking experience of my life, reconnected with an old friend. His name's Scott.
Yeah.
And we both know him.
Yes, we do.
And he did this, we had like a high school reunion that we did on Saturday, and that's where I ran into him again, because he put it on.
Yeah.
And it sucked, because like nobody showed up.
Yeah,
you know,
but
which
I remember
sucks.
you saying you weren't going to go, though.
I wasn't sure if I was going to go, but then, you know, I decided, hey, I might as well go, because maybe there's going to be somebody I know. I know two of my friends are going to go.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm like, I know, and I thought that many people weren't going to show up.
Yeah.
Even though it says, like, 100 and something people RSVP'd. Fuck, you know,
Exactly.
a third of those people fucking show
Those
up.
Facebook invites are bullshit, period.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So I went, and then I connected with him, and he's like, at the end of the night, he was like, oh yeah, we should hang out outside, you know, just this.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, totally, let's set something up. And he's like, you want to go see Five Finger Death Punch?
Fuck!
And I was like, I don't have tickets. I wasn't planning on going, and it's like a Tuesday night. I'm turning an old fucking man here.
Yeah, fuck. Know that story.
And so he's like, no, don't worry, it'll be on me. I'm like, okay, that's fine. He's like, yeah, and we'll go backstage. What?
Yeah.
So he knows the guys in the band the way that he knows Five Finger Death Punch, and it's not like he knows them like, oh yeah, we just every now and then. No, he is fucking good friends with these guys, and he's good friends with Godsmack. And the way it is, he knows the old drum tech for Godsmack.
Okay.
And the drum tech took him to a Godsmack show.
Nice.
Five Finger Death Punch was opening that show.
Oh man,
They connected at that show.
that's cool.
And since then, for the last like 7-8 years, they're constantly, every time they come through, when either band comes through, he is basically invited and they catch up. And
That's
so
badass.
I brought the patch.
Because if it's not, if you don't got a picture,
if I
it
don't
didn't
have
happen.
anything, it didn't happen. But here's the goddamn patch.
There it is.
So we went. Now, I was a little apprehensive too about it.
Yeah.
And I know he even told me at one point when we were there, he's all, now you know I'm not bullshitting you. I'm like, I know you're not bullshitting because when we went and saw Godsmack, he got called out during the show.
Exactly.
By Sully.
By the man himself.
And so, like, I know it's not bullshit.
Yeah.
But I was afraid he was, like, stringing me along a little bit.
Oh,
right?
yeah. No, it goes like
because
that.
we were messing back for, have you gotten in, bro? Have you figured out what's... I'm like, I end up missing most of the show.
No, you know, and it's funny because like when you were texting, I was like, "Fuck, bro, that's." I even went on because before he came to the show, I was trying to buy a parking pass, and I saw like the tickets for like $9 for the lawn. And when he told me to come through, I was like, "Oh, bro!" I went on StubHub to try to buy a $9 ticket to send it to you, but then they stopped selling the tickets, and then I was like, "Here's some used tickets, see if it'll let you in."
What's funny is that before, because I got there, and after we talked, because I waited in Newark, I work over here, and I was just waiting here because, hey, let's just, you know, I thought I might meet him at his place. He lives in South Hayward, and so I hung out here. He's like, oh no, just meet me there. So I drove out there, and I was waiting in front of the shoreline when Breaking Benjamin started, right, and some guy, one of the staff, like, and he's in. I don't know if you remember the episode of South Park where they're talking about bullies and there's the little midget guy.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to bully Cartman.
Yeah.
This guy looks like that guy. And I felt so bad because that was the first thing I fucking thought. And he rolls up to me and he uses his head to push the wheelchair, like the electric wheelchair. Oh. And I'm like, this is already terrible as it is. Yeah. But he's like, dude, you got a ticket? And I was like, oh no, a friend of mine's coming. We'll have tickets soon. He's like, okay. And then there were some other people that came up later next to me. Yeah. And they were trying to do what you were saying. Yeah. They no longer were selling the tickets. Like, oh yeah, we can't. He's all, if you reach, he tells these people, reach in my little pouch. He's got this little pouch. Yeah. And they all look at him like, what the fuck am I going to reach in your pouch for? They do. He had 3 lawn tickets. Oh. He was trying to give me a free lawn ticket to go inside too. Man. So I was like, you know, if for some reason things didn't work out, I would have had a free ticket to get in there as it was.
Good, you know.
But the other people got it. And then shortly after, my buddy showed up. Yeah. And then went up to the front. Got the patch, got the ticket. I tried to give him something for. He's like, no, I'm friends of the band. Yeah, you don't have to pay me shit to go in here. So we went down the side, and that's where I met Chris, the guy that plays bass for the band. Yeah, which I found out that he's just the touring musician. He actually doesn't play on any of the albums. Oh man. So, but they keep him because he's fucking solid. Good. And he has a good stage presence. When you watch that guy play on stage, and he's the guy with the beard and like, all dreaded out beard going down. Super. The one thing I will say, and everybody says this about fucking bands or whatever, nicest motherfucking people I've ever met I've met other people from bands, you know, you just randomly meet somebody somewhere, whatever, but like literally, and I've hung out with people backstage at small shows because of my friend Norman that's done local things, and there's a older band that comes through, somebody say like a Dawkins or something that comes through, right? They're not selling out stadiums, but they're still big enough to be like, oh, here, and you can meet those guys, and they blow you off. Oh yeah, I've met plenty of people that are like, I'm like, you know what, bro? If you don't appreciate it, fuck you then. Yeah, exactly. You know? And these guys, they fucking just accepted me like I was a guy, like, been friends with them for a while. Damn, that was the fucking coolest thing ever. Well, and I met Zoltan shortly after because we walked and went to the dressing room that Zoltan and that guy Chris they shared. Yeah, he was doing his own thing a little bit, but they were all catching up with Scott. Yeah, but. It was that the Chris guy is the one that really treated me like, hey, nice. I'm here, like I'm nothing. I don't want to say like I'm nothing special or anything like that, but like I've been around them for a while. Exactly. The acknowledgement of, hey, you're his friend, you're my friend now, and this is what we're doing. Exactly. And that's appreciative right there. It was really cool. So we sat down, started talking about random things, and so my buddy Scott tells a story. Yeah. And it leads to another story for the other thing. So good. So last year, Fire Figure Death Punch played at Aftershock. Yes, and I was there. We were there. And so he was there too. He was backstage. Yeah. And he saw Sharon Osbourne. Oh, man. And so he decided, he and his wife, they're going to go over and introduce themselves to Sharon Osbourne. Now, he's been on he was on a diet at the time where he was drinking nothing but raw eggs. Oh. And I know that he knows exactly what that shit's about. I know exactly. So he goes up, he introduces himself to Sharon Osbourne. As he's shaking her hand, all of a sudden the bubble guts start. Oh! And then he just let one go. Damn. He could not control. So he ass blasted Sharon Osbourne with the stankiest egg fart that possibly be. And while he's telling the story, his wife's like, "What the fuck are you telling? What story is this?" And then as the story was coming to a close, she was like, "No, I felt so embarrassed. This is the only time I'm gonna be able to meet Sharon Osbourne, and you fucking fart in front of her." And so that leads to Chris, the bassist, is like, "Oh, I got a fart story for you." And he's all, "This is while we were out on tour." He's like, a little while ago, he's like, normally in the set during one of the songs, there's a part where, me and Zoltan, we go back up to the drum riser, we play next to each other, and then we walk away. So I go walk to it, and he's like, and I feel it, I haven't been feeling well, it's bubbling, and I notice that Zoltan's not walking with me. So he's like, fucking great. I'm gonna go over there and I'm just gonna let it go. So he just lets it go, right? And he starts walking back to the front. Well, what he didn't notice is that shortly behind him was Ivan Moody, the lead singer. And so he's all like pumped up, walking back here, and then he gets and he walks into the waft, turns around, he's like, "What the fuck, you motherfucker?" Right there on stage. And he's just like, "That wasn't me. I didn't do it." Because he wasn't ready. And then at the end of the night, if I can get one of these out of my goddamn pocket. Nice. Because I got one for you. Oh, man. Because he gave me a bunch. he gave me this.
Oh, that's badass.
Which, it's hard to see.
There you go.
It says dick. It is a dick pic from Chris
Dick
the
pic.
bassist.
That's badass. I'm about to
And
fucking
his-
get that hooked up right
His
there.
fucking signatures on the back of that.
That is
I got
so
one for
fucking
Pat
cool.
too.
Oh man, that
so I
is
can give
badass.
Pat a dick pic later
Hell yeah,
on.
straight dick pic right there. And I'm a big Five Finger Death Punch fan, man. I've been listening to music since they started fucking emerging. Badass fucking band.
It was. I can say that I like some of the music. The newer stuff has kind of gotten on to being similar to what the old stuff was.
Yeah, exactly.
But when they exploded on the scene, I really enjoyed them, and they still put on a hell of a live show.
They do.
Now we were gonna go sit in the seats,
Yeah.
and then because they were basically saying, look, the the show and everything is new. If you haven't seen it, he was telling his buddy, watch it. But what Scott did, he was like, you know what? He basically thought of me, which was really fucking cool. He's like, Brian's never been on the side stage of something this big.
Yeah.
So he got in contact with Chris.
Yeah.
As their set was starting, he says, let's go on the side. So I went to the back side of the stage, and that's where I watched the whole thing.
Exactly.
That was amazing.
I saw that on your Insta snap and everything.
Yeah, and I got to meet the singer from Black Wolf as well.
That dude's got some guns on him, bro.
He does, and he's got an interesting story too, because from what I understand, he put his brother away for 17 years.
Ooh, man.
Because his brother tried to kill him.
Damn.
And so he testified against him, did all that stuff. So he's still like a little wary of where he's at.
Oh yeah, big time.
But he was the nicest guy as well.
That's cool.
I think I ran into somebody from Baking Benjamin,
Yeah.
but because they were coming off as we were going out.
Oh yeah.
And he had a bunch of like security around him,
Yeah.
and I looked at him. I'm like, I know who you are,
Yep.
but I
Do your
don't
thing,
know.
brother. Yeah.
Just like I'm
It's
just
not. I
gonna
don't
be
know if it's cool or not. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm back here. I'm gonna just enjoy the view. I'm not gonna
Exactly.
try to be like,
Let me
I wanna
soak
take
it
pictures
in.
with everybody. Oh please. So the set's gonna start now. They started about 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen the show, they have this giant fucking like skull on
Yeah.
top of the
Huge
riser.
skull.
So what happened is normally half the skull's already built.
Yeah.
And they just attached like, Voltron
Yeah.
out from the head,
Combined.
right? So but they had to do it on the stage.
Yeah.
And so they couldn't lift it up. So everybody was ready
Yeah.
by 9:45 when they're supposed to go on.
Yeah.
But that thing didn't get ready till almost 10.
Oh yeah.
So they had to cut one song short, which was a cover of The Offspring's Gone Away.
Oh
who
man,
happened to
that'd
play
have been
last
so good.
night.
Yeah.
And that's why
I heard
he
them
did
do
that.
it. Yeah.
And so, but that's one of the reasons why backstage they were all pissed off.
Yeah.
Because they had to cut the song.
Oh.
I even wanted to play it because it means something to him right now. Because, he's completely sober.
Yeah.
Dude won't even use Purell.
Yeah.
Because it has alcohol in it.
Yeah.
He's absolutely nuts. So, like, and before he went on stage, he's like, when I first met him.
Yeah.
He's really, really nice. Totally like, yeah, dude, and then he just looks over. He's like, "Yeah, if you guys want something from my personal cooler, just go get it. I've got water, whatever.
Nice.
And I've got all this candy." And then we're standing there, and Scott and I are talking. Then he just runs by before he comes on stage, puts a giant fucking thing of Skittles in my
I saw
hand.
that picture. Do you want me to die?
Yeah. And I'm fucking diabetic, so there's nothing I can fucking do about
exactly.
that.
Exactly.
And he hands Scott the sweet tarts, and then Scott hands them back because Scott is like sugar free as well. And I remember sitting there doing this. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with these? So I just throw them back into
the cooler.
His cooler, but his like little stage, like his dressing room for all the shirt changes he was doing. But yeah, so it was just like after the show, after everything was done, like watching them do all the side stuff. Like I was really enamored with all the crazy like. When you have if anybody plays guitar out there, you have your pedal board, right?
Yeah.
It's all out there.
Yeah.
They don't have any of that shit out there. It's all controlled. He's got a tech in the back that basically has remote buttons, and he was pressing. He's like, you want this sound? You go like this.
Yeah.
You want this sound? You this. And he's like, and he basically listened for cues in the song to know when to hit
Oh
what.
man, I always wondered about that on the big stages like that.
And he's just like back there basically plugging away and doing that shit. So
that's badass.
When the show ends and you see all this stuff, the speed that these people come out and start tearing shit down.
Oh yeah, it has to be fast.
You like I said, I've done backstage stuff and I've done like the roadie stuff for small things, and we did a whole show where we had to get people on and off in like 5 minutes, and it's rough. But to watch them, they know that they have to go to the next place.
Yeah.
So the other reason why they were pissed off because they couldn't play the song is because the Shoreline, that area, they have to end at 11.
They have to, especially during the week.
And especially on Fridays, I think they get to like 11:30 or 12, a little more.
Almost 12,
But there's a penalty for every minute you go after.
Yeah.
And you know how much that penalty is?
Well, shit, he said $5,000 a fucking minute.
$5,000 a minute, and they went over by 2 minutes.
2 minutes. That's 10 G's right there. Fuck.
And you know, that one time we saw, I was about to say Aerosmith, but Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah.
They went over 20 minutes.
Yeah, they did. They fucking hella went over.
So that's $100,000.
Yeah, right there.
Right there.
Not giving a fuck either.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's absolutely nuts. So
That's
that's why they were pissed that they couldn't play the song.
Yeah.
And even if they wanted to play the song,
Yeah.
that would have, a 5-minute song would have,
Yeah, it's a ridiculous amount of money.
$25,000.
Exactly. Fuck. That's
so
crazy.
It's absolutely nuts what they had to go through.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we just I hung out there for a while, talked a little more with that guy, talked with a little more with Ivan
Nice.
Moody. At the end of the night, he actually approached me to give me the handshake and say goodbye first.
Yeah.
And give me a hug. I was
Nice.
like, dude,
That guy's so cool. He looks cool, man.
he's gone through so much shit. And
Yeah.
I know that he's doing a lot of PR right now.
Yeah.
And even the guys in the band are kind of, know that that's there. I'm not going to get into more because, hey,
Yeah.
this
it is what it is, brother. Yeah, it is what it
that's
is.
a private conversation.
Exactly. Exactly.
But it was like absolutely an amazing experience
Yeah.
for one. And that's made up for like the last couple of shitty weeks.
Yeah.
That's had.
Oh, no,
and,
man.
And
Hey,
just looking
little
forward to
icing
the
on
next
the
show.
cake right there.
So, how have you been?
Well, you know what? My week's all right. I'm back to work. It's cool. My job is easy as fuck. I don't give a fuck. Got a cortisone shot. Just as bullshit, just a simple life bullshit that's going on. We're getting ready to go to the show tonight. And so, my week hasn't been too complaining. It's just been an adjustment period. So, it's not too much for this week. It's just been like work, home, because I'm just trying to fucking transition from being off for a year. You know what I'm saying? And also to fuck everybody else. That's what I fucking say. But let me get into my story. Look, I've only been backstage one time and I got to meet Shirley Manson from Garbage.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, that is
too.
pretty bad. I got to ask her some good questions, but that's not the story I'm going to tell. This is going to be a story from Mayhem. This is the third Mayhem before it ended. All right. I can't remember who we were watching. I want to say it was a Man of Marth, but I'm pretty sure it was. It was someone like that. So we're there on the grass, all right? My buddy, we call him D Nasty. I'm not going to say his real name, but we call him D Nasty. And there's a reason why his name's D Nasty, because as soon as he drinks, he is a power drinker. I'm talking about he's no longer the same person. He is fucking gone. I'm talking about once the eyes roll over, that's it. All right, and I'm drinking, he's drinking. We're fucking blasted. We must have went through like a bottle of Kraken, fucking Jaeger. We fucking drank so many fucking beers when we get there. And when we got there, this lady, I don't know what it was, but she was super cool about it. Old lady she said I looked like her grandson. So bring me back your cup every time, and I'll refill it for $5. So fucking, I was just drinking tall cans of fucking Shock Top. Just kept going back. I must have drank at least 10 beers.
Can I tell you too, the beers at the Shoreline have really upped their game.
Oh, they have.
Because I was able to get a Hell or High Water.
They have. Right off top.
It's a good beer game.
Yeah, no. They before a Bud Light, fucking Coors Light, Coronas, and fucking
your
Shock
standard,
Top. Yeah, that's standard.
Shock Top, which is fine and everything like that. But they really have a good selection. Even for the price.
They stepped it up. They stepped it up. Real talk. So when it happened, we're at the end of the night. We're all fucking just like mellowing out because it's already last call. You can't drink anymore. It's the last couple of bands, and fucking at Mayhem, if you don't know, it was a 12-hour festival. It starts at 10, ends at 10. You know what I'm saying? Or it starts at 11, ends at 11, whatever the fuck it is. So we're in a big group. It's like at least 20 of us, and there's there's a couple of pictures, but I don't know where the fuck they at. I remember seeing them though. And my boy D Nasty's all fucking drunk, and he's fucking touching up on all these bitches around us. And fucking next thing you know, like he's hella drunk, and then this white girl is just as drunk as him. And then all of a sudden he's like, "Hey girl," and he sits right next to her because she was sitting down like slumped over because she's fucked up. And so they both start talking. Next thing you know, they're fucking just going at it, fucking facing it, man, just like that. All right, they're fucking going. I'm like, God damn, they about to get that drunk sex right on the lawn. So, but all of a sudden, a good song comes on, and the only reason I can't remember the song is because I was too concentrated on watching them because I was laughing so fucking hard. So fucking They stand up, and some girls will pick me up, so some girl gets picked up, and then my buddy picks up another girl, and then the girl he's with's like, pick me up too, and so she runs and jumps, and there's a slant, so he picks her up, and he didn't even pick her up, catches her, all right, catches her, and then once he catches her, bam, spine buster on the floor. Spine, it's over, this bitch is gone, 1, 2, 3. I'm talking about knock the fuck out, all right? And then as I'm watching this, like, in shock and all, like, what? She's dead! So, as this is happening, she wakes up, he's, like, still just, like, fucking drunk on top of her, and they just start going at it again. I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Spinebuster leads to love, I guess.
The straight love. Oh, my God. Like I said, I just happened to be there. I just happened to see it, and I was like, are you fucking serious? You know what I'm saying? That The Rock, double leg, bam! Damn near gave her the people's elbow right after. All right? I was like, just die. Like I said, if it was just spectacular. Spectacular. You know what I'm saying? The shit you see when drunk people are around.
That's right.
Oh my God. All right. But, you know, there's more to that story at the end, but that was the best fucking part of that night. All right? And let me tell you something right now. Look, Brian right here does the Terrible Terror podcast. I enjoy it. So go fucking watch it because I fucking said, Brian, tell them where they can fucking find you.
So you can go find it on iTunes, Spreaker, basically all the same places that you can find all of his stuff at.
Yeah. You know, hey, hit him with Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
So Instagram at Terrible Terror Podcast, Facebook, facebook.com/Terrible Terror Podcast, T_T_podcast on Twitter, and then the Horror Amino app, which I really don't use so much anymore because it's kind of like, it works, but at the same time, it's too much to
it's a lot to go on.
But Twitter is primarily where, if you see anything podcast-wise, I'm trying to do Facebook more if I can.
There you go.
But, yeah, and then I need to step up the Instagram game.
That you do.
A lot.
I just saying.
Well, I can't reach his fucking numbers at any fucking day.
You know, hey, all of a sudden it just started blowing up, so I can't fucking say shit. You know what I'm saying?
I also need to get his retweet fucking ratio, too.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Like I said, the podcast just started picking things up, so I'm like, all of a sudden, man, I don't know what the fuck. You know?
It happens.
It does. You know, and let me tell you something right now. I'm going to put all his info in the bottom in the notes, so go check it the fuck out. Make sure you fucking follow him. Make sure you look at it. All that fucking shit. You got another podcast, don't you?
Yeah, it's It Be Like That podcast. And that's available on all the same shit, you know, in terms of where you find podcasts. Instagram, IBLT Podcast, IBLT Podcast on Twitter, and Facebook.com/IBLT Podcast. And that's where with our buddy Pat, he's been on it. Yep. He's taken the Bean Boozled challenge.
Oh, fuck that shit.
Which was fucking hilarious.
Horrible, man. How the fuck you get bad ones every time?
Every fucking time. The video's up on our YouTube page. YouTube is It Be Like That podcast. You can watch them get bad ones every time over to our Facebook page.
Man.
And it's there. And so also with Terrible Terror, the next movie is Wish Upon.
Yes.
Which is coming out tomorrow after this episode comes out.
Hey, did you see that one I sent you about the My Sex Demon?
I did. I also, in my memory, Sex Squatch came up.
I seen that! That shit's fucking horrible, man!
So, I've got a whole, I'm going to make this an exclusive on his podcast. I'm talking about this with Pat and with Phantom Dark Dave, who he also did a fucking excellent podcast with as well.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Halloween month. I'm doing bad superhero movies. Yes! Superhero horror.
Heard first!
That is going to be Spawn, Ghost Rider, Constantine.
Nice!
And the last one, what was the last one that we were going to do? Blade. And which I think is going to be Blade Trinity.
All movies that I like. Ha!
So those are bad horror superhero films.
Yes.
Closest thing, I try to do something special for the Halloween month. It's one of the only times I do 4 episodes, which is a fucking chore to do.
That it is.
But I think for October, especially when it comes to Halloween Easter month, so he gets the exclusive.
Nice. You heard it first. Angry Dad fucking podcast. And now that I fucking said that, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Tumblr, all that bullshit. I'm going to put his here, mine's here, and you can fucking see where the fuck you can find us, all right? You want to listen to this podcast where I'm on fucking iTunes, Spreaker, fucking Podbean, Spotify just picked my fucking ass up. I'm waiting for the Google podcast to pop open because Google wasn't fucking with me at first, but too fucking bad. You gotta take me now. Nah, fuck you.
You got that Pinterest going too?
Oh yeah, I got the Pinterest going too. Fuck, come on, man. You already know. You already know. I'm all over the motherfucking place. All right? Now check it the fuck out. Also, too, make sure you go check out my fucking sponsor, AukuLife.com. It's a clothing brand, an entertainment brand, all that fucking bullshit. He fucking pays me, so guess the fuck what? Go check him the fuck out. And people might wonder what the fuck it is. It's a Polynesian fucking clothing brand. I don't know why. I just seem to be popular there. So go figure it the fuck out. All right? So, since it's fucking Friday, I'll see you motherfuckers on Monday. But if Monday is a fucking holiday, guess the fuck what? I don't work on holidays, so go fuck yourself. Any last words?
How about Taco Tuesday?
Fuck Taco Tuesday, all right? Fuck you, fuck that shit, all right?